Hi, this is Dr. JMR Chemistry. Today I would like to explain PCl5 molecule structure. This PCl5 is made up of 1 phosphorus and 5 chlorine atoms. First I would like to write the electronic configuration of chlorine atom. So here chlorine atomic number is 17 and here electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, then 3p5. Here generally we will consider valency shell will take into the consideration. Why? These electrons will take part in the chemical bond formation, not inner shells. This is first shell. This second orbit is nothing but second shell. This is third orbit. So this third shell or orbit will consider. So here s orbital means it contains only one degenerate orbital. Then p orbital means it contains three degenerate orbitals. They are px, py and pz. So like this you have to fill 5 electrons. First 1, 1, 1, then pairing of electrons takes place. So here chlorine forms only one bond. Why? Due to presence of one unpaired electron. Okay. Then what about phosphorus? So here we'll write the electronic configuration of phosphorus. Phosphorus electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, then 3s2, then 3p3. This is the electronic configuration of phosphorus. Why? Atomic number is 15, 2 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2 plus 3, then 15. So this is called electronic configuration. If you want, please go through my previous videos. So here s orbital contains 2 electrons, then p orbital contains 3 electrons. Indirectly, here phosphorus contains only 3 unpaired electrons. So 3 unpaired electrons are bonded with 3 chlorine atoms. But here in this molecule, it contains 5 chlorine atoms. Means we required another 2 electrons to form a bond, because 1 chlorine required 1 unpaired electron, 5 chlorine atoms required 5 unpaired electrons. It must be present in what? A phosphorus atom. So here it contains only 3 unpaired electrons. You have to create. So at that stage, so here it contains third orbit. But in ground state, it does not contains any electrons. This we can call it as ground state. Ground state. So here, due to presence of this empty degenerate orbital, electron will jump here to here. When? So this we can call it as excited state. This we can call it as excited state. So in excited state, so naturally this 3s electron will jump 3s to 3d. So it contains total how many electrons? Total 1 s orbital and 3 p orbitals and 1 d orbital. So like this it contains 1 s, 3 p as well as 1 d. Orbitals will take part in the chemical bond formation. Means what? Before bond formation, these 5 orbitals are intermix. The intermixing of means 1 s orbital, 3 p orbitals and 1 d orbital. They intermix to form s, p3 and d. So here it undergoes sp3d hybridization. So here the structure or is nothing but the shape of the molecule now. Now I would like to draw the shape of the molecule. So here phosphorus, naturally it contains 5 sp3, sp3d, then sp3d and here sp3d and sp3d. like this. 5, what happened? Orbitals. Why? 1 s orbital, 3 p orbitals and 1 d orbital. They intermix to form SP3d hybridization. Means hybrid orbitals are formed. Similarly, here I would like to draw in the form of Lewis structure. So here it contains total 5 unpaired electrons. So you have to put 5 like this dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then here 1 chlorine contains, here you will write 1 chlorine contains 1 unpaired electron and 3 pair of electrons. So like this, 3 pair here, Jodi, Jodi and Jodi means 3 what pair of electrons and 1 unpaired electron. This unpaired electron unpaired overlapping takes place. Then what about the chlorine? Chlorine contains 3 pair of electrons and 1 unpaired electron. Another also naturally 3 pair of electrons and 1 unpaired electron. They overlapping with each other like this. These 3 chlorine atoms are in a triangle shape, means trigonal. This one and this one. So here bond angle is 120, generally indicated by dotted lines. These dotted lines indicates these 3 chlorine atoms are in one plane. Then what about remaining chlorine? Means 2 chlorine atoms are there. So these 2 are perpendicular to this plane. So perpendicular like this, perpendicular to this plane. So it contains total 3 pairs, naturally 3 pairs. These are exactly perpendicular. We can call it as 90 degrees. So the shape of the molecule is trigonal, 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 bipyramidal. So trigonal, bipyramidal. Here if you will take the bond angle of the molecule is 90. One is 90 and then we have to say bond angle is equals to 90 as well as 120 degrees. This is the bond angle. So these 3 chlorine atoms are in one plane and perpendicular to this plane. We can call it as SP3d hybridization. So if we'll go through the what you call overlapping, this overlap is called SP3d as well as P overlapping. Why? Here 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1 we can call it as 5 sp3d hybrid orbitals. So here it will take part in the chemical bond formation, that is p orbital will take part in the chemical bond formation in chlorine atom. So that is why here what happened, the overlapping takes place between phosphorus as well as chlorine, that is sp3d p overlap. So this is the shape of the molecule. So okay, then here if you will take according to octet rule, so chlorine is surrounded by 8 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So like this chlorine, or you take each chlorine is surrounded by what? 8 electrons. So like this trigonal bipyramidal shape of what you call PCl5 molecule is trigonal bipyramidal. Thank you. This is Dr. JMR Chemistry. Please write down properly. This is the chlorine electronic configuration. Only one unpaired electron. It will take part in the chemical bond formation. Only one bond. You take any chlorine, it forms only one bond due to presence of one unpaired electron. Then phosphorus, 3 unpaired electrons. So in go for excited state, it contains 5 unpaired electrons to form 5 bonds. So sp3d hybridization. So like this, these are triangle, trigonal. These are trigonal bipyramidal shape. Thank you. This is Dr. JMR Chemistry.